And who better also for former athletes to sit there and say, guys, this doesn't work. Look, because of this experience, or can you remember when I was at the Commonwealth Games, etc., etc. So I'm sure that she has an opinion.
Royal AM getting kicked out of the PSL, apparently. Justin Rose, Buden Joburg.
I like that you put apparently there.
Apparently,
Allegedly.
Then there's a
$40 entry just got them a whole lot more.
absolutely hilarious. And he's 21. Afterwards, he said, no, if I had to do it, I'd do it again.
Not the sports news on OmniAudio.Africa with Romy Titus and Kevin McCallum.
It's news.
You got caught out there.
Yeah, but I mean, it kind of died, and so
Yeah,
I figured,
I know.
I might as well be the VO.
Carry on, yeah.
Have you ever done like that voice of God anywhere?
We used to do that at university in residence. We used to get into the intercom, and if someone had taken a girl up to the room, we go, Peter, this is the Lord. Stop playing with yourself.
I love it. I've always wanted to do an animation. That's like on my bucket list, like something I want to do, like a funny voice for like an end character or something. Would be cool.
For a little doggy.
Something.
Go and shoot puppies running around the garden.
Like a tortoise or something.
Maybe do one of those AI things where they, like let's say Ruben Amorim at a press conference talking about Onana. So the show today is packed to hell. We got Royal AM.
It's jam-packed, yeah.
Royal AM getting kicked out of the PSL, apparently. Justin Rose, Buden Joburg.
I like that you put apparently there.
Apparently,
Allegedly.
Then there's a US amateur
Supposedly.
champion taking a pee in a sacred creek
Guys,
at the Masters.
Come on.
And oh no, it's the Onana show again. Two big mistakes for
Nana.
United. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Look what you got started. Who's that? Trey Songs.
And then we're going to be speaking to Geraldine Pillay, Commonwealth Games medalist, former Olympian and former ASA board member, about the mess that's happening in athletics South Africa.
Yeah, and I'm interested in this conversation because I was also watching an interview with Prudence Segodiso and her trainer, her coach. And I just think that with such great things being done, that athletes are achieving, it really overshadows absolutely everything when it is that ASA's house is not in order. Yeah. It is not a new phenomenon either, because I think when Geraldine Pillay used to be an athlete, it was the same sort of circumstance, if you would, So when is it that everything comes together? When will it come together? And why is it that former athletes aren't forming part of these boards anymore? Because I guess you can also only take so much, right? Because are you not joining a board in order to give your input for the betterment of something, to elevate it from where it used to be to where you, with all your knowledge, expertise, and experience as an athlete, would like to see it go? And who better also for former athletes to sit there and say, guys, this doesn't work. Look, because of this experience, or can you remember when I was at the Commonwealth Games, etc., etc. So I'm sure that she has an opinion.
Very much.
Yeah, and when, Kev, when? When,
Well, exactly,
when?
yeah. I mean, I remember I would go to ASA AGMs, and they'd be held at airport hotel, I think the Southern Sun then. And Geraldine Pillay would be sitting there and just shaking her head on the sidelines. So she would get nominated, and I think she stood as vice president once when she was a board member. And she would come across to the meetings and say, it's an absolute circus in there. It's a circus. It's just everyone fighting for themselves. It's a dog-eat-dog.
Guys, why does the board exist?
Because that's that small little bunch of people. If you want power, as I've said before, you shouldn't be given it. That's exactly it. If you want to be a president, you shouldn't be president. And exactly. And why do you want to be president?
So what? Okay, so now we're going to vote you president, but actually no, you're not in power.
Yeah.
We are going to take the other person that didn't make it. Anyway, so looking forward to that conversation. But Royal AM.
Yeah, I mean, so stories coming out. Apparently, people have seen the document. Overwhelming vote to basically expel them from the PSL. You have background in this.
Look,
what do you
I don't
hear?
have too much background, but I mean, yesterday also just chatting to fellow journos that I'm close to, and I'm just like, okay, guys, so if this is not going to happen and Royal AM have been expelled, can the mothership kindly drop some crumbs for us so that we know?
Well, put the sponsors at ease, put the viewers at ease, put the fans at ease, put the players at ease.
I don't think we've been at ease throughout this entire process in any case. Remember, I kept saying, please educate us along the way because we too are in the dark. And it's okay if it is that you too don't quite know how to navigate this. But can't we navigate it together as opposed to journalists now being left in the dark? We do say allegedly supposedly
Yeah.
could be.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, because there is nothing to go by. There's no official statement, and I've just checked again, that says Royal AM are officially out. So apparently they voted and it was unanimous that this is the way that it's going to go. But still nothing, Kev, nothing to say, signed, sealed, delivered. On this day, at this time, the PSL can confirm that Royal AM will no longer be a part of the Betway Prem.
And here's the fixtures going forward, basically.
Or this is how we're working.
Yeah.
This is the math, guys. This is it. This is how we're rounding off the season. And now we're still hanging. We're still hanging. Mama Kize also, I saw her tweet yesterday, and apparently she's taken, not Mama Kize, Mama Joy.
Mama Joy.
And she's taken it off. And I read there, like, oh, thank you, Mama Kize, for making me a Royal AM fan. And then
Nothing.
she took it off. So I'm not too sure if she too has been advised not to say, not to jump the gun, basically, you know, until
But she must know something.
the final verdict.
Whistle.
Yeah, and I really would like to sit down with Mam Kize. In all honesty, I still feel, as much as this has gone down the way it has, history has still been made here, Kev. She's still the first woman, right?
Yeah.
She's come in, what she did with the team. Some might say, but still the first woman. I still think,
She the first woman? Wasn't there another?
the first woman.
Oh, okay.
And for me, it's still history in the making. It might not have been history for the right reasons. It is still history in the making. And we get, if you had to Google this 20 years down the line, you're still going to find Royal AM. You're still going to see Mam Kiza. You're still going to see how the league didn't quite know how to operate during this time. And for me, just to sit and have that conversation, it would be absolute gold for me. And it's not about the money situation. It's not about that for me. It's just about you raised an empire, right, that fell. And all the intricacies in between, you know. And the lessons, there must be valuable lessons here. Because if you're going over to Eswatini, let's hope what you're going to do there, you're going to do 10 times better compared to what you did here in SA that bombed out.
You know, I somehow doubt it because
You've
she's
gotta
got a
have faith, man.
she's
You've
got a
gotta
bad
have
track record.
faith.
She's been bankrupt twice. 2 companies have had to be taken in curatorship. Yeah, I mean,
Well, didn't Trump go bankrupt too?
he's been bankrupt
Yes.
7, 8 times. That
There
doesn't
you
make
go.
him a good person.
No, it doesn't. But, still raise a business after that. And what is the baddie? The baddie on not The Voice, man. America's Got Talent. Who's the baddie again?
Simon Cowell.
Also went bankrupt.
Well, yeah, I mean, they went bankrupt, but
I think at the age of 30 or 40, something like that. I can't remember the
Well,
story.
I think the thing that tells you what's happening in the Premier Soccer League is that the acronym for Board of Governors is BOG.
A
And
load of bog.
it's bog standard. They're either sitting on the bog most of the time. I don't know what they're doing.
Talking bog.
Talking bog. Let's go to some happy news. So Justin Rose, born in Johannesburg. He's 44 years old, and he's got a 3-shot lead at the Masters. He shot a 7 under. You know, he needed just 22 putts en route to shooting 7 under par 65, and that was his best start to Masters.
Awesome.
He was 1 stroke away from breaking the course record. But he, on his last hole, he basically pulled the swing and then had to play out sideways from the trees. Then Rory McIlroy, who we all thought was going to do well,
Correct.
he ran into trouble late. Basically, coming into the end, he was doing quite well. But then coming into the 15th, he did a double bogey. And that just took him back down to par.
I always wonder
So
why they call it a bogey.
It's a bogey because if you scratch your nose,
That's it.
that's
It's
what
a
you're going
big
to
fat
get.
bogey comes
It's a big
out.
bogey. It's a bogey monster. But yeah, you got to feel for Rory McIlroy. He was speaking to Jack Nicklaus and actually took Jack Nicklaus and said, "This is my shot plan for this entire tournament." And Jack Nicklaus said, "Well, you're going to win." But now what Rory McIlroy's got to do, and he's got a psychologist, he's basically got to have amnesia. So he says, amnesia. So you got to have amnesia of the day before. It didn't happen. Today's that day.
But like a hypnotherapist, basically
Almost, yeah.
just, put you in a trance because this is the one that eludes you and this is the one that you want.
Yeah, exactly that. And this one is my favorite story. Jose Luis Ballester is the US
my
amateur
fave.
champion. He's 21 years old, and he urinated in Ray's Creek during the first round because he's playing alongside Scotty Scheffler, number 1, and he was cut short on the 3rd shot after playing the 3rd shot on the par 3 12th. So instead of using the nearby toilet, he decided to go in the famous creek. He said, but I really need to pee, and I didn't know where to go.
You go to the toilet,
But he
you
said-
leave the greens and you go and find where the restrooms are. But when the restrooms far, they said,
They were just around the corner. And to make it funny, people saw, we thought nobody's going to see. And they saw it, and the audience, the fans started clapping for him.
Wow, they got more than what they paid for, right? That
it's
$140 entry just got them a whole lot more.
absolutely hilarious. I mean, and he's 21. Afterwards, he said, no, if I had to do it, I'd do it again. And the problem is with the Masters, I mean, they've got really like strict, you know, you're not allowed.
Yes.
So whenever they sell beer there, they don't sell Budweiser or Heineken. It's domestic beer or imported beer. So nothing's got a brand name. You don't buy Coke. You don't buy lemonade. You don't buy
Meanwhile,
Sprite.
there's someone peeing around the corner.
It's cola. It's soft drinks, and that's what it's called. So there's no branding and that. So they're very like sort of old-fashioned, pretty racist tournament, actually. I mean, I'm not a great fan.
So he just peed there.
He just peed in the lake.
But you know what? That's men for you, I guess. I mean, how many times have I also driven on the highway and I'm just like, guys, just keep it in. Just keep it in. You know, just keep it in. I mean, you don't find women wherever you drive just, you know, quickly squatting because now we need to pee. I mean, it takes a whole lot more. We can't stand and pee. We're going to pee on ourselves, you know? It annoys me.
Okay. Well, then I won't be doing that in the garden again.
Go ahead. I'm not in your garden. Go ahead.
Someone who peed all over Man United's hopes, Andre Onana. So before the game, he and Nyama Matic, who used to play for United, and he basically said, "No, we're much better than Leon. You know, United will easily thrash them." And he described him as Onana as one of the worst goalkeepers in United's history. And to prove that, then Onana decides to make two of the biggest blunders to basically let Leon back into the goal. And this is what Matic had to say first up when he was asked about what Onana had to say about his team and about his record.
Despite their struggles, they're coming here with a bit of confidence. We spoke to Andre Onana at the end of the game the other day, and he suggested that it's going to be a very tough match, but on paper, United are way better than Leon, which was a surprising remark. I don't know if you saw it.
I don't know. You know, to say that, you need to have cover for something like that. Onana. You know, I respect everyone, but to say that, then you need to get the answer. If you are one of the worst goalkeepers in Man United history, you need to take care what you are talking. You know, if David De Gea or Peter Schmeichel or Van der Sar say that, then I will question myself. But if you are one of the statistically the worst goalkeepers in Man United modern history, then you know he needs to show that before he says. So we will see.
That's pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. Ruben Amorim was asked afterwards, how do you justify what Onana did? I mean, is it just a mistake? How do you fix it? And he had this to say.
Defend Andre Onana, but sometimes surely you have to say that a player, I know he doesn't want to, but he's made mistakes that cost you both goals, right? So therefore, it's difficult to defend.
It can happen. If you play football and you play a lot of games, you can make mistakes. And if you look at the season, I make more mistakes than them during these last games and during these last months. So that can happen. The good thing is that we have one more game to change everything. So that should be our focus.
I've got to ask this. Do you think the argument with Matic beforehand sort of caused Andre to sort of be a little bit distracted, a bit concerned about the crowd sort of getting out because of this?
I don't know. That can happen. The best thing is to look at the goals and all the actions that Andre had in the game, to talk with Vital and Craig and try to. This is the best way to help any player, is to focus on the game, what happened, what we need to improve, and then put the player again.
Put the player again.
Yes.
In this moment.
Every player has a bad day.
Onana has a lot of them, though. I mean, he has a lot of them. He's not great. I couldn't understand why they let De Gea go. De Gea. Yeah, he was an outstanding young keeper, and then just kept getting pushed to the side. You know, I mean, I think he's just in his 30s now. He's playing back in Spain again. Shouldn't have let him go.
30s for a keeper.
Yeah,
That's not
young.
old.
No,
Yeah,
he's
that's
young.
not old.
No, I think they should have held on to him. Eric Cantona, Man United legend.
The legend who has spoken up.
Not happy. So he was basically said, Ratcliffe has destroyed United. He's making it in some sort of strategy, some project. We're speaking to the United FC, which is almost like a sort of rebel split group to push the Glazers and Ratcliffe out of United.
I support United because I really love United. But now, if I was a fan and I have to choose a club, I don't think I would choose United. Because I don't feel close with them for these kind of decisions, you know? They have another strategy, another project. Do you feel close to this project? I don't think so. For me, that's very important. To respect these people like you respect your manager and like you respect your teammates. And I think since Radcliffe arrived, it's a complete opposite. And this team of directables, they try to destroy everything. You know? And they don't respect anybody. They even want to change the stadium.
Yeah, not happy. And when Eric speaks, the world listens.
I think everybody is not happy at the moment. If it is that you're a Man U fan, supporter, I think you might have even crossed the floor, because I think he also says, like, if I had to choose another team, if I could.
Wouldn't choose United?
I wouldn't choose United.
Yeah.
Coming
up after the break, Geraldine Pile on Athletics South Africa. More bad news.
Not the sports news on OmniAudio.Africa. With Romy Titus and Kevin McCallum.